Well, hey guys, how are you? Welcome back. I am Summer from Summer Sweet Shop, and I'm so excited that you are here. And I'm excited if you are a cookier and a baker. I'm so pumped that you are here. We like to call ourselves cookiers, so you'll be hearing me refer to other cookie decorators as cookiers. And today I am ready to take things up to the next level with your cookies and your cookie business. So whether you are baking for fun or you're baking for friends, or maybe you're trying to bake to turn a profit for this new endeavor that you have, today I'm going to give you 3 key topics that are going to help you elevate everything that you know and love in the kitchen. So we're going to be talking, those 3 key topics are going to be your quality ingredients. It's going to be your must-have equipment and tools. And it's also going to be about keeping your workspace organized. If you're like me, that can be kind of challenging. So I'm excited to dive in today and show you and give you some tips on how to do that. So these 3 areas, they can totally change your experience and give you the confidence that you need to make your cookie batches better every single time. So I want you to grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and let's dive into what is going to make your cookies wow every single time. Okay, the first one we're going to dive into is using quality ingredients. So we're going to talk all about ingredients. And I know that this sounds really basic if you are just starting out baking cookies and you've been doing this maybe for a little while. It seems pretty basic, right? But believe me, quality ingredients make a world of difference in your final products. I have people ask me all the time, how do my cookies look so perfect? How do they not spread? How do they have just the right color? And a lot of it has to do with the ingredients that I'm using and the tools that I'm also using to make my cookies. So if you're making cookies for your business, you want your customers to be able to have great quality cookies. You want them to taste the very best, and you want them to be remarkable. You want them to stand out. So here are 3 core ingredients of where quality really matters the most. Number 1 is flour. Okay, not all flour. I've got my flour right here with me. Not all flour is created equal. For cookiers, you want to make sure that you go with high quality, all purpose flour. I like to and only use King Arthur's flour because I feel like the quality is just excellent. I never have a problem with my cookies coming out perfect. And I think it has to do with this flour. In fact, I know it has to do with this. The dough is, or the flour is much smoother, and the dough just has a much better flavor than other ones and other brands on the market. So if you can find this at your local grocer. You can even purchase it online, but I highly recommend your all-purpose flour with King Arthur's flour. All right, number 2 is your butter. Okay, so here's the thing. Butter is where you can't really cut corners. I've learned this time and time again as I've gone back to other butters that and grabbed just a butter in the grocery store and realized after I made my cookies, that was where we went wrong. So I want you to stay away from any butters, anything that is like a whipped butter, anything that is a margarine. I want you to stay away from those because a lot of times those tend to have more oils in them, and that's going to cause your cookies to spread. And there's nothing more frustrating than putting your cookies in the oven and seeing them spread when you want them to keep their shape. So I want you to look for store brand cookie or store brand butter. That's going to be your best brand, whether that is Walmart. Actually, don't really prefer Walmart. Publix brand is great. Kroger brand is great. I use Kirkland's, which is Costco's brand. So if you want to use Kirkland's or Sam's, this is their brand of butter. It works the very best because I'll give you a hint. I don't soften my butter at all. I use it cold right out of the fridge. That's a freebie from me today. But I love this butter, the Costco butter. It works perfect for me. It helps my cookies come out perfect every single time. So use that store brand butter. That's going to be your best bet. Even the brand at Target, the Market Pantry is a great brand as well. Just stay away from those that are like Land O'Lakes or other ones of that sort that have extra oils in them that are going to cause your cookies to spread. Okay, number 3 is vanilla extract. So vanilla is the secret sauce to your cookies. You can use vanilla in almost any recipe, any cookie recipe that you find out there. There's some recipes that use milk in their recipes, but pretty much, you're all using the same ingredients. And vanilla is one of those that is going to be universal. But I want you to make sure that you are using the good stuff. Don't use imitation vanilla, as tempting as it might be, because it's a lot less expensive. I want you to use the good stuff, the pure vanilla, because it's going to give that perfect flavor for your cookies and that rich flavor for your cookies that your customers are going to love. So I promise, I know it's a little bit pricier, but it will be worth it. I promise. So this one I also get at Costco, but get the pure vanilla at your local grocer or specialty store. So investing in these quality ingredients, especially your flour, your butter, and your vanilla, are going to be a game changer for your cookies. If you're having any trouble with spreading, your cookies burning, your cookies not turning out the way you want to, really look at those quality ingredients and those ingredients that you're putting into them and see if there's something that you can change and you can adjust. And you might be surprised that just changing some of those ingredients will make a world of difference, and your quality of your cookies comes out so much better. Quality matters, guys. We want to make sure that every single batch of cookies is to our liking and that our customers love them. The taste is great and the shape is awesome. Great. So next, we're going to talk about must-have equipment for cookiers. So let's talk tools, right? Baker's tools can either make your life easier or they can make your life a lot harder. And who has time for that, right? We don't want it to make it harder. We want it to make it so much easier. So I'm going to give you my top 7 tips. I added a few of these. My list of 7 of your top equipment that you need for your cookier. Number 1 is you need a stand mixer. A good stand mixer is going to be, yes, a bit of an investment, but it will be worth it. A stand mixer is going to save your arm from having to work so hard mixing big batches of dough, and it's going to especially be a game changer when it comes to making your royal icing. I had to use a stand mixer recently when I was out of town, and man, oh man, oh man, did I come home so thankful for my stand mixer after using a hand mixer to make my dough and my icing. So make sure you grab you a stand mixer. Catch it on sale. A lot of times big stores like QVC and Walmart have them on sale. Costco has them. So grab you a stand mixer. It doesn't have to be KitchenAid. There's Cuisinart. There's other ones out there that do just as good, but you want to get that stand mixer to save your arm. Okay. Number 2 is probably one of my favorite and top tools that I use on a regular basis anytime I'm doing my cookies and making cookies is a precision rolling pin. These are a game changer when it comes to rolling out your cookie dough. I have 2 different sizes here. There's also different ones that you can use, but I really, really recommend these precision rolling pins. You don't have to worry about the rubber things coming onto the end and losing those and then being damaged. These have the cutouts for you at each end of the rolling pin. They have these swivel handles for you that make it super easy to roll out your dough, and they are long. So that's one thing that I love about this is it covers a lot of area. So you're not having to move and manipulate your dough very much. These rolling pins are from the Cookie Countess. You can grab them from their website. They have 3 different sizes. This is the 1/4 of an inch. This is the smallest size that they have. They also have a 5/16 of an inch. And then you have your bigger one here, which is the 3/8 of an inch. So this is going to give you a 3/8 of an inch thick cookie. I prefer to do 1/4 of an inch. A lot of times if I'm doing cookies for a special event or something really fancy, and maybe I'm not doing as many cookies, I will use the 3/8 of an inch because I want that cookie to be a little bit thicker, because thickness definitely does matter. But this precision rolling pin, it's going to make sure that your cookie dough is completely flat for and that it's even. You have an even amount. You don't want to have a cookie that's like up on a hill, like it comes up, it's really flat on one side. This is going to give you an even working dough surface so that your icing goes on smooth and everything, all of your details look beautiful on your cookies. So grab your precision rolling pin from the Cookie Countess. Highly recommend and love them so much. We'll have them linked in the show notes below. Okay, number 3 is another biggie. It's a really big biggie. And it is a baking pan. So I get asked all the time, what are the baking pans that I prefer? Which ones do I like? Which ones work really well? And baking pans can be really, really important when it comes to your cookies and how your cookies are turning out when they come out of the oven. I love these air bake pans. They are fantastic. They're supposed to have some technology of like the air being able to move in between the pieces of the metal on the baking pan. I don't know what the technology is, but I just know that when I bake on these air bake pans, my cookies come out perfect every single time. I don't have areas where they get more done. Every now and then, if I'm using my gas oven, I will have where they get a little more browner around the edges. But in my electric oven, I have perfect cookies every single time with these air bake pans. Now, if you don't have those, typically you can find these on Amazon or you can find them on Bed Bath & Beyond's website. Yes, you can still purchase on bedbathandbeyond.com. But if you do not have that and you are like, what pans can I use? You can use, just make sure that you use light aluminum pans. You never want to have a dark pan that's going to cause your cookies to burn underneath, and you definitely don't want that to happen. Number 4 is piping bags. You got to have piping bags if you're going to be decorating these cute sugar cookies that you are making. So I highly recommend our piping bags. These are disposable piping bags. You can grab them in our website at summersweetshop.com. But they are fantastic. They are disposable. They are tipless piping bags. So they're going to make it easy for you to decorate your cookies with, not have to use a tip. You're going to be able to outline and flood and add details to your cookies. And then when you're done, you can toss them in the garbage and not feel sorry about it at all. So piping tips are essential. You want to make sure you pick some up. You can also grab them on Amazon or from other cookie shops. You can grab them at summersweetshop.com for our piping tips. And piping bags, but I love them. You got to have them. So make sure that you invest in good quality ones that are going to serve you really, really well. If you are just starting out, you can grab them. I think I have them for $6 on my website. You can grab them there. I recommend staying away from the ones on Amazon just because their quality may not be the same. Okay, number 5 is food gels. You got to have a way to color your icing. And I get asked that all the time. What do I use to color my icing? And so I use gel colors to color my icing. And I highly recommend AmeriColor is the one that I recommend the most. They have a great assortment of colors that you can use. You can get the bigger bottle. This one is the 4.5 ounces. Or I definitely recommend the smaller ones. You can even get these in packets of like 6, 8, 12, 24 pack of like just like your basics. And these are, oh, you can't see that, it's rubbed off. These are I'm trying to see what size they are. I don't remember what size they are. 4 ounces maybe, I think, is how many they are. But these are fantastic and I highly recommend them. You can get them on AmeriColor's website or get them on Amazon. They are fantastic. I love them. I also like to use Cookie Countess. So the same place that you can pick up that rolling pin, that precision rolling pin, you can pick up your gel colors as well. They just don't have as many assorted colors, but I really like their colors. I really like their brown. is my favorite and the only one I use for brown, but I recommend use some gel colors. These are the 2 ounces. So this must be like a 1 ounce probably. Okay, and number 6, the last essential thing that you need when you're decorating cookies are cutters. So you might be asking, oh my gosh, like, well, where do I buy cutters? How do I get them? You got to have cutters when you're starting out because if you want to do anything besides a circle, you're going to need cookie cutters to cut out different shapes and things for you to decorate. So you can always grab seasonal cutters like this one here. This one is made by Wilton. You can grab these from Target, Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. They all have the like Wilton type of metal cutters. Usually they're like a certain like festive holiday, like they may be like red and green and like pink and purple for like Easter, all of those kinds of things. Or you can grab some on Amazon as well if you want it quick, if you want it delivered to you. Ann Clark, I highly recommend Ann Clark cutters. They are fantastic and work great. They're the metal cookie cutters that you're probably most familiar with. You can grab them on Ann Clark's website or on Amazon. They are fantastic. And then if you're really wanting to do something different and get different designs, I highly recommend getting 3D printed cookie cutters. This is what they can look like. And so I highly recommend these. I like to get most of mine from the Sprinkle Factory. You can go to thesprinklefactory.com. I also really enjoy Kaleidacuts as well as the Sweet Design Shop for their cutters. They have a much wide variety of shapes and different sizes for you to pick from. And you can order those physical cutters delivered right to you for a pretty reasonable price. Or you can, sometimes you can even print them yourself at home. If you have a 3D printer at your house, you can print these or go to your local library and you can print them there a lot of times as well. So check those out, different places that you can get cookie cutters and what you can use to get started. And last but not least is a cookie scribe. Now, for years and years and years, I used toothpicks whenever I was decorating my cookies. I would use the toothpicks to move my icing around on the cookies. And it really wasn't until I went to my first cookie class and I saw these fancy cookie scribes and I was like, what are these? And they told me I had to have these. And so I felt pressured into getting one. And once I started using it for that class, I was hooked immediately. And I was like, oh my goodness, I need to have these cookie syrups in my life. I'm going to ditch the toothpicks. We're not using those anymore. And I started using cookie scribes. And so this is what they are. These are silicone beads on a cocktail skewer. I do have these available on my website, but they are fantastic and great to use to move your icing around on your cookie. You're going to need something to move it around. And it helps me to adjust any details on the cookie. And they really are just make it more fun for your cookies. You can get ones with different decorations and colors and all of that. So I highly recommend it. You can do a lot more with it than you can a toothpick, and highly recommend getting a couple of cookie scribes so that you have them ready to go to decorate your cookies with. So having these essentials on hand, it's going to make every step so much easier. And honestly, it just makes it more enjoyable. So you want to feel like a professional every time you bake. So make sure that you are investing in the right tools and the right equipment that you need to make your cookie journey well. Okay, and number 3 is we're talking about workspace organization tips. All right, now I know that this can be a tricky one and everyone can struggle with organization and think, okay, I have all of these tools now, like what do I do with them? And if you're serious about your cookie business or your cookie hobby, we're going to talk about some things to keep your space organized, because if you don't have it organized, it's going to be chaos and it's going to be hard, honestly, for you to want to go in your kitchen and make your cookies and get started decorating. So I want you to be the most efficient that you can be. I want you to not feel stressed. And this is going to also make it so much easier when it comes to cleaning up, right? So I want to share 3 tips with you today about having an organized workspace. Number one is you want to have a dedicated decorating zone. So I want you to set up a place in your house, whether that is one end of the counter, whether that is over at your kitchen table, wherever it is, I want you to have a dedicated space that is just for decorating cookies. Now, you can eat dinner there or you can do other things, but that's the place that you always go to when you are decorating cookies. So this is going to have everything that you need within reach. Maybe you have like a rolling cart, like what I have back here, if you can see it. Maybe you have a tray that you put in the cabinet when you're done and you pull that out and it goes with you to your workstation. Or maybe your workstation, you have an end of the counter that you're working on and all of your equipment and tools are right there in the drawers and cabinets close by. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that things are right there within reach. You're not going here, there, and yonder, getting all of your equipment and your needs. Okay. So you want to have your piping bags, your scribes, your cleaning cloths somewhere in one spot so that you can stay organized and you can be the most efficient cooker possible. So it helps to focus on getting into a good decorating rhythm, and that's going to help you do that. Okay, number two is using clear storage bins. I forgot to grab this, but clear storage bins are going to be essential for you and can be that game changer when it comes to putting your gel colors in a place, putting your scribe somewhere. Those clear bins also work with your cookie cutters and work great for organizing your cutters, and they can be a game changer. They are super affordable. You can go to the Container Store and get them for like $1.50 each. Very, very affordable. And they're just the shoebox size. So they are great. And you can stack these. So if you have like a closet that you're putting them in, if you have a cabinet that you're putting and storing your cookie cutters in, these are great. But you want to make sure that you label them with specific things like cookie cutters. Maybe it's your gel colors. Maybe it's packaging supplies. So maybe it's your bags that you're using for your cookies. Maybe it's your clear boxes that you have. Whatever it is, use those clear bins are going to help you stay organized. And they're going to help you keep your life in order when things start feeling overwhelming. Okay. It's going to help you see everything with those clear bins too. I like to be able to see what's inside of it. Even though I have it labeled on the outside, it's something about being able to see it that you can say, oh, I know exactly what's in that bin. And I know that's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, number three is a drying rack. Cookies, obviously, when they come out of the oven, they need a place to dry and a place to cool off. But also, after you have iced your cookies, they need a place to dry. Most of the times when you're putting a base layer on your cookies, they need around 8 to 10 hours to dry completely before you are putting them in a pan with a lid or an airtight container. So I highly recommend investing in some good drying racks. The Cookie Countess does have some drying racks like this one here you see behind me, or you have more portable ones like this one. This one is portable here, but this one is great for drying your cookies. I've been using these for years. It comes with three. You can stack them on top of each other, but you want to have something where you are putting your cookies to dry after you have iced them. Yes, after you have baked them in the oven, but definitely after you've iced them. Whether you're putting them on pans and putting them on the cookie rack, you want to have something there. So invest in a good drying rack. It's going to have, you want one that has multiple layers. This one has the 3 layers there. Or no, 4, I'm sorry, 4 layers there. So, and it is sturdy enough that like the racks are not going to move when I have a pan of cookies sitting on that rack. You want to make sure it's tiered so that you can be the most efficient with allowing for space. And then that's going to work really, really well if you've got bulk orders. And if you've got a lot of cookies that you're cranking out, especially during the holiday season, you want to make sure that you have a good drying rack. So keeping those things organized is going to save you so much time and energy, and it's going to help you keep that creativity flowing so that you're not scrambling trying to find all the supplies, right? It's going to feel less overwhelming, and you're going to enjoy doing your cookies so much more. So a neat workspace, it really just helps make your baking time more enjoyable and more productive. All right, guys, that is all I have for today. I hope that you've been inspired to bring some of these tips to your own cookie making routine. Remember, whether it's a high quality ingredient, whether it's the right equipment and tools that you need, or maybe it's just organizing your workspace, these little changes are going to make a huge difference in how you bake, how you decorate, how you sell your beautiful cookies. So, thanks so much for tuning in. And if you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe, share, and tag a friend who might love these tips as well. Until next time, I want you guys to keep baking, keep dreaming, and remember, you can do amazing things one cookie at a time. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you next time.